Okay, so now we're going to create a navigation system for our Flying Orbs website, and we're going to use images for our navigation system. So let's pop on over to Photoshop and let's create a canvas here that let's see, we have a 960 grid to work with. We really don't need that much width. Let's go 600 and let's go 150. Alright, and let's fill that background with black. Okay, I think 150 might be too much. So let me go back up to image canvas size and let's just make it 100. Okay, so I'll decrease that a little bit. Let's choose default color D and X as the foreground color so we can fill this image with black. And now let's go ahead and create our menu system. Alright, so I'm going to create kind of a white text here, and when we mouse over it we're going to get a blue glow around the background. Okay, so let's go to our text tool here, type tool, and let's just go ahead and put in the entire menu system. I don't want to be at 72, I want to be something a little smaller. Let's say 24, okay? So home, I got a crazy font, that's alright. Let's just do this, about, services, and contact. Alright, that's fine. Alright, so we'll do it in here like this. In fact, if I want, I can decrease the canvas just a little bit more, image canvas size, anchor it to the top left, and let's make it like 75. That should be plenty of height, pixel wide. And that clips off 75 from the bottom. Alright, so this is all one layer now, and I can go in here and chop up my images. So I'm going to create some guides. Okay, let's do this. Let's just grab some guides from the ruler and make little separators, because we're going to create these images as 4 mouse up images and 4 mouse over images. Okay. Right, so that's my text. Control H will always hold my guide or hide my guides, and let's just give those a style. Okay, and let's say we want to use kind of an outer glow, but it's going to be this light blue color, let's say. Alright, and let's try some different things here, because you can do the spread them out, create the size like this, maybe lower the opacity some to where it's really subtle. Maybe I want to spread it out like that. Yeah, that looks alright. Alright, so that way when I mouse over it, it's white, and then you get a little blue glow around the outside. Something simple. Yeah, I can do other things if I want. Maybe I want to do one more thing. You know what I mean, you just got to add a few more things here. Let's see, I want to try a, what's the one I want? A thin black stroke around it. See what that might look like. Okay? That way, when I look at it now, it's from that and then to that. So the black stroke kind of redefines that edge a little bit. Doesn't really keep it from being subtle because of the glow on the white. Alright, so now I just need to save all these images real quick, and this is a matter of chopping things up. So with the effect off, I gotta save all 4 images. So I can do a edit, copy, merge. There's some other ways to do this, but I'm just gonna do it this way right now. It's just quick and easy. And save this for the web. There's some slicing methods of going in there and saving all the different images, but we're just gonna do this for now, and this one's called home. Maybe we can do the slicing in another lesson. Alright, and home, and then with the effect on, edit, copy, merged, file, save for web, JPEG, and then we'll call this one home dash over. Okay. We got the first two images there, and let's just go through the rest. I'll do this pretty quickly. Edit, copy, merge. Put this on its own canvas. Oh, that's the over. Okay. File, save for web. Save. Call this one about-over. Alright. Turn the style off. And do an edit, copy, merged. And paste that. And that one's called about. Okay. And let's see, we're done with that. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. Go to 4 more images. Alright. Edit. Copy, merge, file, new. Some of the things I do are kind of old school, and I just kind of get stuck to them and don't change my ways. Eventually I give way to the quicker ways to do it. Services, and then turn on the effects, edit, copy, merge, put that in the same canvas because that's the same size, right? I know that that's the same size because I'm copying from the same selection. And this one is services, will be services dash over. Okay, I have both of the services. And the last image is contact, and edit, copy, merged, file, new. My file new will always give me the dimensions of what I just put into my clipboard for copying images, as long as there's no transparency in the layer itself. Click OK, paste, file, save for web, save, contact. Okay. Turn on the effect. Alright, and then, whoops, back there, edit, copy, merge, paste, file, save for web, contact, over. Alright, so now I've got all my images. So now it's smooth sailing from here. Alright, so if I go to Dreamweaver now, I'm going to create a div area for my navigation. Alright, so if I go to split view and I want to see where I'm actually at, in the where I have the heading instructions, right above that I'm going to create a little div box, call it, give it a class name of navigation, and then insert those images directly into that box. So I'm going to use the tag inspector down at the bottom, and I'm going to click on H1 tag because that will highlight the entire H1 tag set of codes, and then I'm going to arrow key to the left. That places me in the exact correct position for placing that div box. Alright, and then I'm going to go directly to the insert menu, insert, go to layout objects, and go to div tag. And in here, I'm going to give that a class name of navigation. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a. Wait a second, let me think. No, I don't need any rule on that at all. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK, and it will add that div box with that class name. And it'll put some sample code in there. If you don't create a rule, it gives you this sample text, not sample code, sample text, which is content for class navigation goes here. So on that content, that's where I want to start placing my images. So I'm going to highlight the text, okay, and I'm going to delete the text, and now I'm going to insert my rollover objects one at a time. So I'm going to go insert image objects, rollover image, right? And now I can, the first one, I'm just going to call it home. It's just a naming convention to use in the code, so I just keep it all lowercase and call it what it is. Click browse to choose the original image, and in there Scroll down a little bit, and there's my home image. Click OK, and the rollover image, browse for that. Home dash over, click OK, and my alternate text. I can use the word home, or I can kind of list the name of the page, but usually the name of the rollover is fine. That's what will actually show over, and it's used in accessibility as well. And so when it's clicked, where will they go? Well, if this is the home page, normally it's going to be index.html. All right, and that should be it. From there, I can click OK, and now it's put in the code. So let's go preview this in Firefox, because there's so I click the globe and click preview in Firefox, save my changes, and there we go. There's our orb, our flying orb site with our mouse over of the home button. All right. So now all we gotta do is just go back and add the rest of them. So this is added as an image. If I click on this, it's actually a real image. It's not a background image per se, but it's right up in the front. And see all the extra code that it added in the HTML that represents that. All right. And if you look further up in your page, you'll see that there's a whole set of scripts right here that's representative of running the swap image restore and the functions that have to do with using that rollover method. Okay, so I'm going to go in there after the home image. I'm going to click right after the home image because that's where I want to put the next one. I'm going to put the next 3 right in a row. Okay, so I'm going to go to the insert menu, choose image objects, rollover image, and start putting the rest. Home, what was the next one? Was services? I forgot. Home, services, right? And contact. About. Yeah, that's what it was, about. Sorry about that. Insert image objects, rollover image. Call this one about. Browse for the about image. Browse for the rollover of the about image. And here you can put about flying orbs. That way it gives it a little more description. Oops. Oops. There we go. And where's it going to go? It's going to go to the about.html page. You have to make sure you use that same page name later when you create the about page. Click OK. That one's done. Click after the about image. So you can actually click on the image as well and arrow to the right. Well, actually, no, that's not a good idea. What you want to do is you want to click in right after there, because if you click on the image and arrow to the right, it will take you still inside the anchor link. So make sure you don't do that. Make sure you go to design view and click, because notice where my cursor is right there. When I click, if I click on the image and I arrow to the right, my cursor is still inside the anchor tag. All right, probably not a good idea. If I click at the end of the image, you see that that cursor has moved outside the anchor tag, still inside the div box named navigation. So that's probably a better bet for us. So then let's go to the insert menu, image objects, rollover image. All right. Next on the list is home, about, services, and contact. Here's services, and then the rollover image for services, and flying orb services. What kind of service is that? I don't know. But let's call it services.html and click OK. Last one here, insert image objects, rollover image, contact, and browse for the 2 files that we have created, 2 images. Contact flying orbs. Not something you'll do every day. And let's call that contact.html and click OK. Great. now we have all 4 of them in there. And if we go and preview those in Firefox, it's going to ask us to save the index. And there we go. Voila. Our mouse overs are there. And if you'll notice down at the in the status bar area down here, when we mouse over them, you can see where they're going. And you know, they're going to a local position on my desktop because I'm not viewing this live on a server. So that's why you see the file : //. Of course, that's not in your code. If I go to the About right here, or any one of these images, and I look down here in the Properties Inspector, I can see where that page, where that image is being linked to, what page it's being linked to. And so I can actually change that if I want right here, and it changes it in the code. So in the code as well, you can see that the links point directly to the actual files that will be on the server. So yeah, and I can also view this in live view as well, and it should show up fine as such. Yeah. Alright, well, that concludes doing navigation in rollover images.